Hello there, and welcome to day number 18 on the road to 2000 ELO Rapid Series. We are currently at 1670 ELO. We're very close to 1700, and the goal is to get to 1700 by the end of October, which means that about 2 weeks left to go until we hit 1700. Fingers crossed we get there before. Let's see how this one plays out. Hopefully we get a win, and we're right on our way to that goal. Before we play the game, make sure if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button to keep up with my daily uploads. I play a rapid game every single day, and I'm not stopping, so make sure you keep up. Now, let's hop into the game. Alright, I have the black pieces against a French player who is a 1674, and we are playing a D4 opening. This seems to be something akin to a London, and when I play openings like this, I just like to try to trade off the bishops. I don't have to take right away. There's no need for me to do that. What I'm seeing right now is that currently as it stands, opening up the rook is what white wants, right? So why would I play into that? I'm thinking maybe I can play c4 to be able to prepare knight c6, but maybe c4 is not really necessary. Maybe I can just play knight c6 right away, or knight f6. Knight f6 kind of walks into this move, though, so perhaps instead I'll play knight c6 first, and then maybe afterwards taking, then castling makes sense. Let's see. Bishop here could be annoying. Let me think about what I want to do. What am I trying to accomplish in the position? Perhaps I can maybe go knight ge7 and then knight g6. Although I like this square for my knight. If I'm able to get there, that would be really nice. So perhaps I do take. Perhaps I do take after all. And I think that's what I'm going to do. You know, I could have just played this a little earlier, and I'm thinking to myself, this seems like a good move. This knight f6, taking advantage of the square on e4, seems like a good move. I don't have to play e4 just yet. What I can do is probably play something like queen e7, preparing e6. I'm not sure whether or not I want to castle kingside because of the open file, so maybe I'll try to castle on the queen side. And already this e4 move, e5 move looks promising, because if nothing's done, then e4 is playable. So let's try this out. Let's go e5. If takes, knight takes, there's also bishop check, but bishop check's not that big of a threat because I can just go bishop here, or I can go c6. Probably I'll go c6 in that case. So let's see what my opponent does. I also have to watch out for queen a4 ideas. I got hit with a nasty idea in the Blackmar Gambit 2 games ago, where the queen went onto h5, and typically I think it's very easy to miss these moves where the queen stretches out to the complete opposite side of the board, one of the complete extremities of the board. Okay, right away going to bishop b5. So maybe I can play this first. If I play this, knight here looks like an annoying move. So instead, maybe I go bishop d7 and I prepare long castling, which is something I probably want to do. I just realized that if takes, I drop a pawn, but then knight here wins the pawn back, so I'm not that concerned. Or maybe I should be concerned, actually. Because I don't actually win the pawn back. I'm being silly. I'm being silly. So calculation error by me. It happens. Let's see where we can try to make up for it here. Maybe something like knight e4, queen f6 looks like a nice idea. It's a little slow, but it does open up the queen to the attack. That could be something. It's probably going to try to castle on the queen side, given the nature of the position currently. Do I care about these double pawns? Probably not. I'd rather open up my rook, so I'm not too worried about this. Maybe we'll just go a knight e4. Let's give it a shot. Let's go 94. If takes, pawn takes. I am playing down a pawn now, so I gotta be a little bit more aggressive. Definitely made a mistake early on, and that's on me. The one nice thing is that my opponent doesn't have any bishops, so that is something to be said. But at the same time, I mean, it's not really anything concrete here, because the knight can just take the bishop, and then oh, okay. Okay, I wasn't expecting this. Does this matter to me? Let's think about this one. I don't think so. I don't think so. I definitely don't want to take. What else can I do? Maybe we still play this, but I should anticipate takes, and then my move is less strong. Where can my queen go that would make the most sense? Or should I just castle here maybe? Maybe I should just castle here. Or should I bring my bishop into the game? There's a lot to consider. I can keep my bishop on the board. Let's do that. Let's keep our bishop on the board. Let's play something like bishop b5, preventing them from castling short. Doesn't really accomplish too much, but it does keep the bishop on the board. And that's good enough for me, as it stands at the moment. So let's do that. After knight takes, pawn takes. And then I have this f5 move to keep my pawns on the board. It's very possible I'll f5 and then I walk into stuff like this, and that's annoying. Because afterwards I can't take, because rook takes. So maybe I can't play f5. I'm glad I saw that. That's not an immediately obvious move, but something that is 100% worth noting here. So let's do some thinking. My opponent is up on time, so that's something to worry about. It tends to be the case in games like these. I feel that typically I don't do the best job with my time management. So this is not a move, right? I got to castle first in order to play this move. Which means that he's probably going to win this pawn, or at the very least... Okay. He's making threats now. I'll probably just slide the bishop to a6. Bishop a6. Could I just defend the bishop instead? The problem with that is that it kind of locks in my bishop. I don't really like the look of that. Let's go bishop a6. I would have loved to play bishop d3, but right now the knight can take, and I can't kick out the knight, so we're just going to go bishop a6. Yeah, I don't see anything better currently. Okay. Well, now I feel like there might be ideas. Can I play this, for example? That just looks like a good move, right? Queen e6. Well, it makes a trade of queens happen. Where does the knight go? Maybe I shouldn't try to make a trade of queens happen. That doesn't seem good. Maybe instead I should castle or something. Castling long might be a bad idea. Castling short's definitely a bad idea, though, because of the open rook. So let's castle long. We'll try it out. Hopefully I'm not missing anything too substantial here. The one thing I definitely don't want to do is hang pieces. That would be unfortunate for sure. Okay, and now I'm thinking just bishop here. Bishop d3 just looks like a good move. It looks like an annoying move to deal with for my opponent. They're going to have to reroute their knight in a way where they can attack my bishop, and that's very, very difficult to do in the current position. So bishop d3 looks like a move. I'm not going to play just yet. I'm going to think a little bit more. What are their weaknesses? This pawn's a weakness. I can't really get to it. Let's just play this. This also frees up my queen. The queen's no longer hanging, which is nice. It also stops Short castling still. My opponent can castle long, but I don't know why they'd... I mean, yeah, they probably want to castle long. And then maybe I can play f5 to solidify this pawn. Now f5 is a safe move. And, you know, we're not doing great, but I don't think we're losing just yet. We are down a pawn, so take that with a grain of salt. Okay, what does this move do? That one, I really don't know. I really don't know what that does. So we're just going to play f5. Doesn't change my plan at all. At least I don't think it does. This becomes a weakness. Not currently, but longer term. Perhaps in the future I'm able to play something like queen b4, attacking this and that at the same time. Nice little forky fork. That's the technical term for a fork, folks. Forky fork. If you didn't know, you should look it up. Yeah, and we're gonna try to create some pawn break or something. I don't see anything concrete just yet, but maybe I can go queen g5 and then here. Although no, that doesn't work just yet, but you know, we're making ideas. We're gonna work them out. Actually, this already looks interesting on its own, because if pawn takes, okay, he's trying to trade queens. I'm definitely not trading queens, that's for sure. Although actually something like this doesn't even look that bad. Takes, pawn takes. And then I feel like I should be able to win material soon-ish. I don't see how right away, though, and that is a problem. So we're going to just try to keep the queens on the board. Oh, he's attacking this pawn, too. Okay, so maybe I'll just take. Maybe I'll just take. I don't see a way to keep my material. So he's doubling my pawns, but, like, I don't think you're able to defend everything, so I'm not too worried about that. Maybe we'll play g5 here. g5, rook, h5, but then h6. So we'll play g5. Try to cut off the space. And if we can play h5 afterwards, we're golden, because then the rook can't come into the game. Maybe I should have started with h5. I didn't really think about this too hard. I'm trying to play f4, because I'm trying to weaken this pawn. That's my goal. So we'll see if my opponent sees that. I'm down to 3 minutes. Oh, God. Okay. I'm thinking too much and I'm talking too much. Typical problem we run into in the series where we're not immediately winning out of the opening. I feel like I win games because I am, you know, because I play better some games, and then other games I just play like trash. Both of these things tend to happen. But we're opening up the position. We're going for a pawn break here. Probably I should have played h5 first. But the thing with h5 is it immobilizes the rook on h8. Well, it's immobilized anyways, actually. h5 would have been good. h5 would have been good. It's okay. I think I'm playing actively. I'm playing actively instead. And there's something to be said for active play. This bishop is very annoying, by the way, to my opponent. Okay, so takes... Okay. Now we play h5? Probably. Or now maybe try to go for this. Let's think. There's nothing to be really done here. That's the one issue. Although I can double up my rooks. Maybe that could be interesting. He's trying to go here, though. Oh, I should have thought about that. Yeah. Okay. Maybe we'll just go with this. It's fine. We're going to lose a pawn. Maybe I should have gone rook e8. Probably should have gone rook e8, to be honest. Okay, well, that's a mistake, no? He's winning this pawn, but he's giving up too much. Threatening check, we're threatening this. There's no way to defend both. And now we're back in the game. From what I can tell. I don't see a way to defend both. Yeah, no, there's definitely no way to defend both. I think he rushed too fast to get my bishop off the board. Maybe time pressure is getting to my opponent. That's also very possible. I wonder what pawn should let me have. Probably this pawn. This pawn seems worse. So probably let me have this one. Because if I take this pawn, then these become a threat. Okay, well, now if I go here, let's take. So same thing applies. I don't really care about this pawn over there. It's a weakness. No reason for me to go after it just yet, because it'll stay a weakness. And maybe I'm thinking, okay, well, now what? Okay, now I'll go after it. Yeah, for sure. Okay, I missed that. But can I not just go a5 now? a5, b6, king b7, rook a8 looks really good. Although I don't want to leave these pawns hanging, obviously. Maybe... So, king b6. Maybe I can play something more active. Like rook here. Rook f2 looks good. Rook f2 looks good. These become threats, though. These become threats. It's the one problem. It's the one problem. I don't want to let them become threats. It will end up being a race, probably. Okay, oh, b6. Okay, whatever. We're going to play faster. We're just going to play faster. I cannot lose this game on time. All right. Let's go here. If he takes, then I take. Then I go f2. And then take this. I'm just going to have to make sure my king stays planted on e8. I just cannot allow this pawn to promote. Whatever I do for the rest of the game, I don't care if I lose on time. I'm just not letting a promotion happen. That's my goal. My only goal is that. We have a threat of taking with check. And pushing the g-pawn forward. He might go here. Okay. Do I care about him taking this pawn? Not entirely, as long as I can stop the rest. Okay, this is a big choice here. Let's go for this. Maybe I'll lose off this decision, but in the case I don't, this will make me look super smart. Which is my priority, obviously. I'm going to try to stop this pawn from pushing. Let's go here. Attack the rook. Okay, we're taking. I don't care if he takes this pawn, because then I can take with check. He can't take my pawn now. Oh my god, I'm so low on time. We're going to just keep pushing this pawn. He won't be able to protect this one anymore. And we should be completely winning here. Like, this should be completely winning. Been able to convert the endgame. It looks like, at least, off first glance. Okay, we're just going to bring our king. Nothing complicated about this. Keep it simple. We're going to go here. We're going to go here. We're going to go here. That's the plan. And essentially the goal is to have the king protect the pawns, while the rook makes space for them to move forward. And they work together. In unison, like a team. A dream team, if you will. If you shall. Okay. Quickly. Let's make a move. Let's go here. If rook check this way, it's still protected. Okay. If check here, and then we block. Then it takes pawn takes. Make promotion a little faster. And yeah, I mean, this looks just crushing. Down to 28 seconds, but we can win this with... Oh, no! Oh my god, what am I doing? Oh, thank goodness. Holy crap, I almost blew the whole game. Let's go this way. I hung that pawn. Wow. Wow, that's crazy. Okay, I should pre-move. Let's check. I'll play fast. Okay. Okay, there we go. We should have an easy win now. Oh my god, I almost blundered mate. Stalemated. Oh wow, okay. Yeah, no, I have to get better at the time scrambles. That was scary. But we got the win. That's what matters. I think I played relatively well, besides the, just mental mistake of just forgetting that I'm dropping a pawn in the opening. Let's see how this game played out. I'm just glad I got a win. I'm like, literally my heart's racing right now. So let's see the analysis. Okay, let's take a look at the analysis. We started the game with facing d4 and then playing d5. And my opponent went for an accelerated London system with bishop f4. So I like to go e6 here and play bishop d6, offering a trade of bishops. And bishop g3 was played, and I decided not to take, instead going knight c6. Apparently the engine doesn't like this. I should go knight f6 if I want to develop a knight, or c5, which I was considering. I was toying the idea of c5, but I wasn't too sure about this, because after bishop takes, queen takes, I don't know. Something about it didn't just sit right with me. Let's see. Let's see exactly what happens here. So bishop takes, for example. Queen takes. And, okay, this is just totally fine. This is totally fine for black. Here I just have to play king f8, though, or g6. I can play anything. All right. Good to know. Good to know. But instead I played knight c6, which is an inaccuracy. My opponent played knight f3, best move. Afterwards, I took the bishop, h takes g3, and I played knight f6. So I took the bishop specifically because I wanted to go knight f6 and then knight e4, and I was worried about bishop h4. So afterwards, brought my queen to e7 here, trying to push to e5, and my opponent lets me play e5, which I thought was good for me, so I decided to go for it. And bishop b5 is the right move, so clearly my opponent knows their theory pretty well. They also played the opening fairly fast. I'm already down a minute on time around. So apparently I'm supposed to go e4 here. But I decided to just unpin the knight. Missing the fact that, I mean, this is a very obvious sort of way of playing chess, where if you cannot attack a piece directly, you can attack it indirectly by attacking one of its defenders. And that's what this move did, and I just ignored that. Made a careless mistake here, and now the bishop takes the knight, which was defending the pawn on e5, and after bishop takes back, they can just take on e5. I thought d takes e5 and I was fine because of something like knight g4 or knight d7, but my opponent played the right move, which I didn't even think about for some reason until it was played. Knight takes on e5, and I have no way of counterplaying, because if I move the knight to either square, it's just a trade of knights on d7, and it's just a lost knight on g4. So I go knight e4 here, which is my plan initially. I just like the square for the knight. And afterwards knight d2 is played, and this is all very, very good by my opponent, trying to trade off the knights. I decide to go bishop b5. I realize I can't really save that knight, so instead what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep my bishop on the board, my light squared bishop, so I'm stronger on the light squares for the rest of the game. Now, there was one move I wanted to play the whole time, and I mentioned this. I want to show you guys exactly what's wrong with it. So I wanted to show you why f6 and f5 don't work. f6, for example, looks like a natural move because it kicks out the knight, but now they can actually play knight g6, because I can't take. If I take, the rook takes on h8, and what that does, because I can't take, is it forks the rook and the queen. So this just wins an exchange at the very least. So that's why I didn't play either f6 or f5 for the same reason. So here I play bishop b5. After knight takes, pawn takes, queen b3 was played, which attacks my bishop. I decided to keep the bishop on a6, keeping the long diagonal and removing any castling ideas kingside for my opponent. And here they play knight c4, which looked off to me, but I really wanted to play something like queen e6, but it doesn't really accomplish anything, because if anything, it just facilitates a trade of the queens. So I long castled, which is very good here. I'm glad to see that. And then the knight steps back to d2. And now I realized, okay, I can probably play f5, but even better is bishop d3. So bishop d3 was a move I wanted to play earlier, but it didn't work because they could just trade. Here, it is not easy for them to just trade the bishop off for their knight. So the bishop's planted on d3. It cuts off the mobility of their pieces, of their king especially, and it holds this pawn steady on e4, so it just creates this solid presence on the opponent's side of the board. And after c4 is played, I went f5. Now, why is f5 a mistake? Apparently I should go h5. Apparently now is the time to try to create havoc on the queen side of the board, where I can push my pawns and maybe bring my queen in. Another move that is considered is queen e6. Queen e6 is a nice looking move because it pretty much plants the knight. Although now I'm curious, what if d5? Queen e6 with the idea of queen g4. Oh, okay, so it's not a one move threat. It's really just moving the queen to the light squares where you are stronger and trying to create ideas here. So I didn't notice that. I played f5 just to solidify the pawn on e4 and essentially solidify my bishop on d3. After queen a3 is played, I pretty much am forced to take, and this is a mistake by my opponent. I think they were like, oh, I'm a pawn up, so I'm probably going to win the endgame. But you double your pawns, and it's really hard to create a passer here if I play properly. Because if you look at it, none of these pawns can go all the way through without some sort of opposition by my material. So there's no real pass pawn opportunities as of yet. If I play this right, I clearly did not play this right because there were opportunities I had to worry about later on in the game. So I tried to go for this pawn break, try to get rook d4 as a playable move in the future. Here I should have really realized that knight c5 was their idea, and I didn't spot it. If I did, and I feel like I saw it just a little late. If I played b6, I wonder if it'd be bad. Okay, so this is bad. Oh, okay, this is straight up bad because now rook takes on d4 as a possibility. So I guess it's kind of a good thing that I didn't spot this. Apparently I'm supposed to take first. F takes on g3. Really? Oh yeah, on g3 makes sense because then they have their double pawns. I mean, they had double pawns anyways, so I don't really know exactly why. And then the engine wants me to play rook d6. This one I don't really get. I'm not 100% sure about. Anyways, I ended up playing just takes and then rook f8. So, okay, I played the right move. I took, and then I should go rook d6 apparently, but I went rook f8 instead, trying to control the open file. And my idea was to double my rooks here and create some opportunities to attack. But after knight c5, my bishop's probably going to get gone. So, yeah, not so great here. Forced to take back. But then my opponent just played sloppily. And they played this move really fast. They played this move in 1 second. I don't understand why. This lets me get into their position, win some pawns, and I won a couple of pawns before trading off the rooks. And so now it's an equal game. It's an equal game, but because of how I played it, this is a passed pawn. These pawns are all working together very strongly, so I have to worry about these pawns in the center. I start with a5, which is a good move, making my own threats of promotion. And here I have to go rook f8. And I do play rook f8 eventually, but I play it a little slow. So rook f8 is important because if the rook takes now, rook f2 check creates a big threat to win these two pawns and then create this passer. But the longer I wait to play it, the further along these pawns get. And the less likely it is for this pawn to be an actual threat because they get to promote before I do. So By playing this was just a little too slow, and e5 is the best move. Now I play rook f8, and now I'm worse. Because if the king goes to d3, and the king works with these pawns together to promote, then I really can't stop it. Because if the king comes here, then the rook can also just slide up and defend the g5 pawn from promoting in the long run. Instead, the king goes the other way. And now I'm supposed to find rook e2, stopping the pawn from going forward. And instead, I just take the pawns and try to create a counter threat with the g-pawn. That was my idea. So if you gave me more time to calculate, I probably would have realized that protecting the pawn on the e-file was more important. But I also only had a minute and a half left, a minute and 17 seconds left compared to my opponent's 2 minutes 50. So I was just trying to play fast here. It essentially kind of became a bullet game. I gave up the pawn on c7 because I thought really my only hopes relied on the opportunity of promoting my g-pawn. So that's what I aimed for. I go rook d3 here. Why is this bad? This is best. So rook g1 is what the engine wants, but then for some reason it also says that rook d3 is best. I'm confused. I don't know. Rook d6 is played. I move the king. And he's supposed to just probably... Ooh. So either he goes d5 or rook d6. Everything else is giving up the advantage. Fascinating. Fascinating. D5 makes a lot of intuitive sense. It just protects the rook. It makes my king have less space. But my opponent goes rook g6, just trying to cut off any counter threats from me. I think they just missed that, this is much more important because I'm going to be winning more material if they take this pawn. And so here they should have, realized, oh, it's more important for me to keep this pawn on c4 and gone like king b5 instead. They didn't, though. And this gave me a chance to keep my pawns working together on the A and B files by going rook b4, which I believe was probably the only move that wins. Yes, rook b4, keeping the b6 pawn. And now these pawns can work together to promote. So I could push a4. And this is fairly elementary. I don't think I made any mistakes here. I made one mistake. I think I left the pawn hanging at some point. Right here, I left the pawn hanging. That was a big mistake. It would have been a draw. My opponent was also low on time, though, and missed it. Here, I should have just played b4, and then I'm winning. This is the perils of time pressure. But my opponent missed it. I play a2, and now there's no stopping the promotion. The queen promotion comes with check, and then they hang a rook. And there's nothing else to see here, really. I'm so lucky. Like, I rushed this way too much. I'm just so lucky that this did not result in a stalemate. The good thing, and like in general, if you keep queens far away from each other, stalemates shouldn't be likely in endgames where you're just up a queen or two. So, I guess intuitively, maybe I figured that. But I was worried. Ultimately, though, I did manage to get the win. And we are now at 1678 ELO. 1678 once again. Actually, we hit 1678 a couple of games ago. So 32 more to go before 1700. 332 more to go before 2000. It's going to be a long journey. But how many days in? We are 18 days in. And progress has been made. We're gaining about, hold on, doing some quick math in my head, about 4 to 5 ELO a day. So realistically, at this pace, it should take a few months, maybe. I think it'll take longer. I think the learning curve is going to be a little steeper once we pass 1750, 1800. But we'll find out for ourselves soon enough. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the game. This one was a lot of fun. Been able to turn the game around, get the W. If you enjoyed, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. It helps a lot. And I'll catch you all next time. Take care. Have a wonderful day. Goodbye.